life is ultimately fair, and I think I can prove it. And the reason why I say life is ultimately fair is because the universe does run on immutable laws of physics. But when people talk about life being unfair, they're really talking about the course of human events. But compared to the inconceivably huge universe we happen to live in, the course of human events are practically non-existent, or I think we better say practically subatomic size, let's say. I mean, you can't just assume that just because we're human, we have these human biases, that everything else is focused on us. Damn nephew. Anyway, you can't say that life is focused on us. I mean, if you're one of those religious people, you might probably think that's the case, but in reality, or the preponderance of the evidence that reality provides for us, we're not the center of the universe, and the center of the universe doesn't exist anyway, but we're not the center of the universe, and the universe doesn't care about us. As far as I'm concerned, the universe is a dispassionate machine that can only do what it's programmed to do. And what it's programmed to do is provide immutable laws of physics that apply equally to everyone and everything in the universe. And you can't really do anything about that, at least not in the foreseeable future. Here's a good example of why I think life is ultimately fair. Let's say that Bill Gates and I are skydiving and both our parachutes malfunction on the way down. You know what that means? That means that when we hit the ground, there's a good chance that both of us are going to die, because that's how the laws of physics work. If life were unfair, Bill Gates could call the Gravity Commission and tell them to suspend the law of gravity for him while he's falling from the plane or whatever. You know, he could ask him to change gravity so that he could float like a feather while I'm falling like a stone. So, in an unfair world, Bill Gates could manipulate the laws of physics, or let's say other people could also manipulate the laws of physics by calling the Gravity Commission or whatever commissions would be running laws of physics, and they can get away with all kinds of stuff. But in real life, they can't do that, because the laws of physics, as I said before, apply equally to everyone and everything in the universe. Oh yeah, now I remember. I think it was a year or so ago, I mentioned this sort of thing to YouTuber Bionic Dance, and for some reason she just completely missed the point. She said life is still unfair, even though I explained to her that the laws of physics apply equally to everyone and everything. But whatever, I don't listen to her anyway. I don't subscribe to her anyway, so I guess I don't really need to get into that any further. There's also the resource-based economy connection. You know, since life is ultimately fair because it's run by laws of physics that apply to everyone and everything equally, and since a resource-based economy looks at the laws of physics as being the laws that humans should live by, an RBE would be significantly more fair than the current fracked up pseudo-society we live in. I mean, it won't be a utopia, but at least it'll be a good deal better than this current mess, because in RBE, the laws of physics are paramount. Unfortunately, there's still going to be morons who are going to say life's unfair, despite the fact that the laws of physics apply to everyone and everything equally. They're going to focus on how unfair life is, of course, in human events, as if that's important. That's not ultimately important, because, like I said before, the laws of physics apply to everyone and everything equally, and what happens on Earth is insignificant subatomic particle compared to the vast universe is practically nothing, let's say. I think the thing is that some of these people want life to be unfair, which doesn't make sense for a number of reasons. One of the reasons that I like to bring up is that an unfair life would contradict civilization, let's say. if you want to live in a civilized world, you have to have consistent rules and regulations to make it civilized. You decide, oh, we're going to make things unfair and unequal and imbalanced and whatnot. You're not living in a civilization. And for a long time, I've considered this so-called society not to be a civilization. It's not. We're not in a civilization. Or more to the point, if you think living in an unfair world is so awesome and great, then you should go back to the Stone Age. Go back to Stone Age living. I mean, I guess it was even more unfair back then since we didn't have all this technology and stuff. So yeah, try the Stone Age. If you think an unfair life is so awesome. Got a couple more notes to bring up, but I'm not sure if I'm going to bring them up after all, or maybe I do. Yeah. Oh, here's something. Even though the laws of physics apply to everyone and everything equally, some might say that life could be unfair in some regards, like natural disasters. I guess from a human perspective, you could say that it's unfair for natural disasters to happen, but still, the laws of physics apply to everyone and everything equally, so at least there's that. But one natural disaster I'm thinking of is a gamma ray burst that could hit Earth and make the planet utterly uninhabitable. And some might say, that's unfair. That gamma ray burst wiped out life on Earth. Oh, actually, no, I would be saying that because everybody would be dead. But that's one way to look at it. But I'm still of the mind that life is fair, ultimately, because the laws of physics apply to everyone and everything equally. I want to make a Star Trek reference here, but I'm not sure how to put it, so maybe I'll bring it up in another video. And I'm also a bit disturbed by how I'm trying to think of what to say in these videos, and then after I'm done with the video, I finally figure out what to say, and then, oh man, I should have said that stuff. That's probably going to happen this time. But that being the case, I'm going to play Scrabble, and see you later, Ralph Nader.